Lawyers for Donald Trump were in court this morning. At a hearing on his federal election interference case, Trump's attorneys entered a not guilty plea on his behalf to a new indictment filed by the special counsel in the case. The judge has now adjourned the proceedings, saying she'll set a schedule for the trial later. The CBC's Katie Nicholson has more from Washington.
Yes, and it was a bit of a spicy morning with legal sparring over those contentious issues that they still need to iron out before this case can move forward. Issue number one: how does the Supreme Court's landmark immunity ruling affect this case? So special counsel Jack Smith had to refile a new or superseding indictment after that Supreme Court ruling that essentially bestowed immunity on presidents, insulating presidents from actions that they carry out while in office. So Smith had to rewrite this, pull some pieces out. He removed one of the defendants from that original filing and then tried to refashion it with that ruling, that Supreme Court ruling in mind. The question is, what will Judge Tanya Chutkan do with it? So she's had to wade through this indictment and decide which of the alleged acts in the indictment may be argued to have been official acts as president versus Donald Trump's role as a candidate, a private candidate running for office. So one specific piece of evidence that they talked about this morning that's really being hotly contested revolves around the vice president, Mike Pence, at the time. Donald Trump's lawyers are arguing that his interactions with Mike Pence around the charge, specifically that Trump urged Mike Pence to delay the certification of the votes, would be covered by that presidential immunity ruling. Judge Chutkan doesn't appear to see it quite that way, or at least that's how she indicated it. And special counsel Smith is preparing arguments to rebut that idea, he says. So clearly he wants to be able to retain that evidence in his case. So when it comes to immunity, Judge Chutkan says it really is the linchpin here. They have to decide on that before they decide anything else in this matter before it can proceed. And essentially that is the whole ball game. If the immunity sort of throws everything out, then there's absolutely, why would you keep going, right? So that's what they have to decide.
Okay, so as we wait for that, what other matters came up?
Right, so Trump's lawyers did raise the specter as to whether or not the appointment of the special counsel was legitimate. You might remember the Florida judge, Eileen Cannon, in the classified documents case ruled that Jack Smith was unlawfully appointed and so dismissed the case. Chutkan says she didn't find Cannon's decision particularly persuasive. She doesn't think that this really pertains to this case and just sort of brushed it aside. And Trump's lawyers also bucked against a swift proposed schedule. Chutkan, of course, saying she was going to have a schedule out today to try and iron out all these matters. Trump's lawyers are suggesting it's unfair to move this along quickly because they don't really want to have prosecutors enter evidence into the public record against Trump so close to the presidential election. But Judge Tanya Chutkan has repeatedly said she will not factor the election schedule into her decisions. So now we wait for whatever kind of schedule is posted either today or very soon. Judge Chutkan certainly indicating she wants to move things along today.
The CBC's Katie Nicholson reporting from Washington.